School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Yo. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do to sexual revolutions being podcasted? And I'm here and excited. We are also in the building with TikTok. TikTok going live today. We're going live off
What's
my phone.
What's the TikTok at?
TikTok is Dante Nero comedian. But the TikTok, all the TikTok people, if y'all want to call in and ask a question, you could just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and Man School 202 YouTube, and the number's there, and you can call in from there if y'all want to ask questions. So shout out to all the TikTok files. I'm trying to give y'all the love. Cash App is up. Telephone number's up, 347-464-2827. Also, I got to say what's up to Tri-State Mike in the building.
Money, what's up?
You got it, baby. You already know.
Always. Y'all too sabe.
They was screaming on me, Mike. I went live.
This is all the streets have been telling me.
The streets been talking. I went live and I was fumbling around like a fucking nerdy Dante Nero. The good.
You got the muscle. You need the brains.
I got the muscle. I can't have it all. Bow.
Looking extra swole in that chair.
Back in the gym too. I housed Godfrey's chair. I got Godfrey's good chair. I'm feeling good. Cash App is up. Give me some money.
Yeah, and also remember, if you leave a super chat on YouTube,
You can turn it up a little. It's a little low, Mike.
Turn it up. Let me turn it up over here by you. But
yeah, it's kind of low. I want TikTok to hear me too. Come on, Mike. You don't have to fucking act like you don't like unseen hands. 1, 2, check. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's good. TikTok, can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, man, it's good to be here. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I had a nice nap. You know, I'm mad conservative. Like, I'm getting old. I got to take a nap to be a killer. If I'm in these streets, I got to nap first. You know what I'm saying? If you want to catch these hands, you got to catch me before 8:30 because I'm going to sleep.
You got to nap. You got to have something in your stomach.
Come on, I got to have some warm milk. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine
Settle my
first
stomach.
thing in the morning, no breakfast, someone's beefing with you.
Because I can't. My stomach can't take it. No dairy. I'm a thug who can't handle dairy. What's that? It's crazy. I'm gluten-free and hardcore. Stop playing.
Yo, you don't even like dairy.
I ain't gonna front. I mess with some cheese every once in a while. I will. Can't have pizza without cheese. You know what I mean? But I'm on my fitness shit right now. Bang, the guns is coming back, baby. You can still catch these hands at 58. I got 3 more knockouts left. I'm saving them for somebody special. So
that's like what Hulk Hogan says. He has 1 leg drop left. You're like, oh, I can't wait.
Good to be here, man. I'm excited to do the show. But yeah, man, I was fumbling on my live at my home studio, and everybody screamed on me. He was like, "Yo, you gotta get." The quote was, "Mike, you got the quote? You want to read the quote that I sent you?"
Oh yeah, let me pull it.
Wow, wow, they came at me, Mike. Tri-State Mike, you already know. No tu sabe. You know what I'm saying? You got it, Mike. It's just...
All right, let's see. Clay the Dark One says, yo, Dante, I love the show, but bruh, you got to get this shit together, man. It's almost not even worth watching if Tri-State Mike not in the building.
That's crazy, right? They don't give a F about me.
Game changer.
They just want me to not shut up. Just want you in the booth. If you in the booth. Anyway, but it's good to know they know the difference. Man, hey, Mike, it ain't easy working all that shit and being brilliant at the same time. You spitting gems and taking phone calls?
Some just can't. It's tough. It's not easy.
It's
changing
hard.
lives.
Come on. Not with the gems. The gems I be jumping, it's heavy. They're big gems. Stop playing. What's
Doing
up,
that,
TikTok?
And then you got a mixing board in front of you. Get out of
Mixing
town.
board. I got a check cord. Got this. I got the. I'm doing the phone number. Posting the phone number. Reading the comments. Yo, what am I? Listen. I'm a dope dude, but come on. Everybody got. I'm human. Stop playing. Here's what I want to talk about today. This was crazy. Had a dope consultation with a dude who I actually counseled him before. He was trying to get this girl, having a little problem. I talked him through it. Bang. He's in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? 26 years old. Got a bad joint. You know what I mean? He wanted her. I walked him through it. Bang, bang, bang. This is girl. He said she's considerate. She's loving. She's appreciative. She's all those things. All the things you could possibly want. But he got caught dabbling in the DMs. This girl got caught bloodhounding, sniffing around.
When a guy's gonna start deleting those DMs?
You can't, dog. What you doing? This is why you got to get on the phone.
Voice memos. If you see your boyfriend talking to someone and there's like 20 voice memos in a row, some shit's going down.
What you doing?
It's
son?
extra
Come
nasty.
on.
It's so nasty he don't even want to put it in text.
Here's my thing. I don't say that you shouldn't do that, but he got busted. Like he wasn't doing nothing, but he was definitely. And I was like, well, if you had an opportunity, if it was coming around, would you have smashed? And he was, and I ask dudes whenever you consult with me to be as honest as possible because I want to be able to assess what the situation from the best perspective. I want to give you the best advice possible. Don't forget, if you want a consultation, DanteNero.com, click on consult. Just click on consult and you can book a session with me. So I got him the girl. Mike, I got him the girl. And then he's sniffing around bloodhound, what I call bloodhounding, just... right? Man, he calls me up, yo, she's mad at me. She don't want to break up, but she's mad. She feels like, yeah, because you can't be, you're not being trustworthy. You got her because I can't remember exactly how we ended up getting her, but it was something ace related. Be honest, be upfront, have empathy. We got a call already? Okay, let's go.
Call, you're on the air.
What's good, Dante?
What's going on? Who am I speaking to?
What's
Where
good,
you
Mike?
calling from?
Oh, it's Trey from San Diego.
What up, Trey? How can I help you, baby?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask a question.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste too much of your time.
No, that's what the
do you
show's
think
about.
it's a difference? Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you think it's a difference where, like on dating websites, right, on the apps,
Yeah.
where if you holler at like 40, 50-year-olds compared to 30 and 20-year-olds? Or you think it's all the same?
Yeah, they smell different. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry. That's not right. That's not right. Well, let me tell you something. Older women are very meticulous about their hygiene. I've been with some I've been with some younger pissy pants girls, look, chick with crusty panties, crunchy.
It's Saturday, your panties say Tuesday.
Take the panties and throw them off the bed, and they hit the ground and sound like somebody stepped on a bag of potato chips.
They break in half like China.
Sounds like Lay's potato chip. No, but here's the thing. What you got to understand is, hopefully somebody who's older has had experience. She also understands that her looks her looks and her age is not there, and so she understands that what her value is or not. Now, that doesn't always mean the case. A lot of times you can have older women who are still on that, they still think it's 1983 and they, they the belle of the ball. But usually what you'll find is women of a certain age will have, that, they have gone through some things. They understand some things. Now, whether or not they've internalized that and learned something, that all depends on how somebody takes the information, absorbs the information. But young girls, a lot of times, especially attractive young girls, tend to be very insecure, super insecure, even when they cocky, real deep down. All that bravado about, I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
That's all bravado. That's when they don't think that they don't think you have value. or when you chasing them. You know what I'm saying? So I think overall an older woman will be should be a little more mature, will be have been gone through some things and have some experience.
Because I see that.
But I've also seen older women who will be older and they haven't learned anything from. Like the smoking hot older women who, always was bad, and then all of a sudden, the price is plummeting, like the stocks is dropping, and they're not in touch with the fact that the stocks is dropping, A lot of young women will have especially if they're attractive, guys will be gassing them up because dudes, not people that follow my content. Because I'm gonna tell you gas somebody's head up and lie to them and tell them that they're great when they haven't really shown that they have any character. So I think that's but I also think that this is something back in the days when me and Patrice used to do Black Phillip. We used to say there's 3 types of women: bears, bunnies, and deers, and we had to categorize it. And I don't expound to that. I don't agree with that anymore because a woman is a direct reflection of the guy she's sleeping with. So
okay.
So I'm dropping gems. I'm sorry, man. I sometimes they just slip out. The gems just slip out of my body.
I love it.
You got to charge for this.
Yeah, I can't help it. I just throw it around like I'm throwing diamonds.
Yeah, okay.
So, what I'm saying is,
I'm picking it up.
Here's my thing. You look at who did So I Rise, Mike? God, come on, you know the poetry lady. So I Rise.
Maya
Angelou. So look, Maya Angelou probably wouldn't have wrote So I Rise if somebody was knocking her upside the head with a cookie sheet because she didn't put enough chocolate chips in the cookies. You know what I'm saying? We affect each other in any relationship, and so if a woman is with an abusive guy, a lot of times she's not going to be as expressive, or women are a reflection. A lot of times, women are a reflection of the guy that they're with because they have to. You become such an intricate part of their life that they are forced to adapt. The other thing is, I also believe this, and people get on me about talking about the differences between men and women, but women are much more malleable. And I mean, we're making a generalization, but a woman will have friends that she hangs out with, that she shops with. A woman will have a girlfriends that they slut out with. They'll have friends that they go to certain events that they won't. You're not gonna let your ghetto friend go with you to the black tie affair. They have multiple different groups of friends that they have that they use for specific situations. Men usually got the same goofy dudes that they always with, and if the dude is trash, he's just trash, and that's what it is. You feel me? So so that the difference is that, but when it comes to that malleability is something that also happens in relationships. Women change with the guy that they're with, and I mean, I don't think that that's unreasonable because, if somebody is, if you act like a pussy, you will get fucked. Like if you acting like punk and you simping, even the nicest girl in the world will smell it on you. And
take advantage of that.
If you have no boundaries, and don't get me wrong, that's human nature. A lot of times, as soon as if you got somebody who's a pushover, people will they'll treat you like you're a sim. Yeah. The difference is, I think, though, because a woman is so intuitive about what men are and how they represent themselves, because of the fact that they have to be careful about who they pick and choose, because if they pick the wrong guy, it could mean danger to them. It could be an essay. It could be to be unlived because of the fact that you picked the wrong dude, just simply because you didn't pick up. You didn't pick up the clues. So there's always that. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a thing, but I think more so, what's even more important is the guy who you are, kind of, when you're making that soup, you're kind of the main ingredient that allows a girl to excel or to be, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. But I've seen older women who are very immature, and I've seen younger women who are very mature. So yeah, I just think that there is something to life experience, but it's not an end all cure all. I mean, it's not a one side. I mean, you find it in both situations, if that makes sense. Why are you dating older women on the apps?
Yeah. I find it's a little bit easier to talk to, or it's more. I know it's kind of stupid to say but I feel like it's more energy on texting, on the texting through the app. From older women, I should say. It's more energy through the communication on the app with older women than a lot of the younger ones. Not all, of course, not all.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll tell you something else. We don't understand that older women are in their sexual prime. So you know, like it's a crazy twist of fate when you think about that. A guy's sexual prime is when he's 19, 20, 21 years old, and a woman's sexual prime is when she's 40. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. So older chicks is trying to get it. And
I see that.
They trying to get it, and they not playing. And it's you know, it's just like you don't have the hang-ups that you did before. You know what I mean? So, So I think that's part of it too. But I mean, it happens on both sides. But there's something to having experience in life experience. I think that makes things different. You know, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you, Dante. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, Mike. I see y'all.
Go ahead. You want to say something to Mike? Go ahead. You can talk to Mike. You don't have to feel. I'm not gonna get jealous.
No, I was gonna say, hey, Mike, you killing it. I honestly thought after Alex and Bobby, I didn't think there would be another producer I would like, but you killing it, man.
Yeah, murdered. I'm GOAT status around here. Thank you, though.
Yo, it's the only. Okay. You already know.
That's right.
Yeah, too sound.
Thank you, brother. Y'all be
Thank you for the call.
Put that number up, bro. Yeah, so I just want to shout out to TikTok. TikTok is online. Checking me out. This is the show. If y'all want to call in TikTok, you could easily log into, here's the number anyway, 347-464-2827. 347-464-2827 if you want to call in right from TikTok. Or if you want to go on YouTube, Man School 202, and you can like and subscribe. And the numbers, we flash the number on the screen. And my Cash App is there. Send me some money. Yeah, we got a number. Let's go.
Caller.
Hey, what's going on, man? How we doing? It's Daryl from Rhode Island.
What's up, Daryl? How you doing? How can I help you, bro?
Good, man. Yeah, I was calling about a cornbread recipe that you had mentioned a couple weeks ago.
A cornbread recipe? I'm not sure what you mean.
I don't know. It was a joke.
Oh,
great
okay.
joke.
Okay. It's funny because I do have a joke about a guy who books, and I'm not even going to get it. It's too far. What's going on, bro? How can I help you, though?
Anyway, I wanted to ask about, like, fleeting happiness and how I have, I've had dated lots of different types of women, lived in different cities.
What's your number? What's your number, Rhode Island?
Huh?
What's your body count? What's your number?
27.
Okay.
And I'm
how old are you?
34.
Okay.
But I've also been in more long-term relationships. I'm more of like a relationship.
Brother, you
guy,
do not have to. Here's one thing I want you to understand something. Anytime you call in here, this is man's safe space. You don't have to explain. You don't have to justify. It is what it is. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. So you're saying fleeting happiness. What do you mean?
Well, almost like when you're in one place, you want something else. And that even if you have a good thing, you're kind of looking for the next thing. I
think that's a personal thing.
Even with women. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you feel as though, like in terms of relationships, are you able to get whatever you want to get? Like if you pursue somebody, can you get them, or is it hit or miss, how do you find that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think like I've been in 5 like long-term relationships, and I think 3 of them were with a woman that I was really like into. Like they're all like, for me, they're very like attractive, kind, intelligent woman, which I enjoy. But then I've noticed like after X amount of time, could be year 2, I just start to look elsewhere, or you find flaws and something like that in them, and then you kind of just wonder what else is.
Listen,
if this is right for me,
anything
and that could be career as well. Yeah.
I mean, anything we do, I think there's a move. We get what we want, and then when we get it, then we don't appreciate it. I think, but a lot of that has to do with ego. It's like, okay, what you're saying, what's around the corner, and a lot of that has to happen with the fact that you haven't really defined what happiness is, right? So what I tell dudes a lot of times is to think about what it is you really want, right? Because if you don't know I always use the analogy of like an Uber. There's 2 things that you need to know when you take an Uber. You need to know your current location, is who and what you are at this moment, and where you want to go, where you want the Uber to take you. You got to have both of those things. And a lot of times we don't know who we are. We haven't done a self-assessment about who we are as a person. And we also haven't really defined what happiness looks like. And I think once we define what happiness looks like, and we spend a little time thinking about that, as opposed to just kind of going with the wind, this is the person I'm with, this is what it is, but I think when we, and don't get me wrong, I think you gotta have experience with women and try different things and be with to kind of know what you like. It's it's like the Chinese buffet, right? The first time you go, you pile your food, your plate up, you got everything on there, right? And you taste this, you don't like that, you don't like the shrimp toast, whatever, it's too greasy, whatever. And then the second time you go back, you're a lot more specific about what you want. You make sure you get the crab legs in, you get you get the General Tso's chicken, you know what I'm saying? The third time that you go in, your plate looks very different. It's very specific about what you like and what you don't like, and you don't waste time with the stuff that you don't like, right?
So, for example, like, did you have that defined for yourself?
Absolutely. Or... I mean, but I also. So I'm always revealing something. So like everybody knows that I was a male stripper for 10 years, from like 89, from 88 to like 99, and so that allowed me, even though I maybe wasn't the best looking guy and I wasn't the best built dude, but I was pretty athletic and whatnot. But the point was it gave me opportunities to kind of be at the Chinese buffet where I could be like, oh, what is this? What is this Saskatchewan barbecue? Let me check this out. I could try anything because the opportunities were there. But but you still got to figure out what you like and what you don't like. There's certain things and types of women that the minute I get the vibe that they are that type of person, I stay away from them 100%. And it don't take me long. Like I always say, you don't have to eat the whole birthday cake to know that it was made with rotten eggs. All you need is a spoonful. God damn, I gotta stop. I'm just dropping these gems.
I'm gonna start muting your mic.
So, but what I'm saying is,
so it is really all about exploring what works.
I think you should explore. In your youth, you should explore, and you should try to figure out what it is you like, so that when you do have what you like, you're not in a situation with a woman with exactly what you like, and then you're searching something else, and you're looking for something else, and you screw up what you got. You feel me?
Right.
But
I just, you ever just like look back, and you're like, damn, I really had it good, but I didn't know it, and you never want to live.
Yeah,
like
but you're always worried about the
thing because I was thinking of the next thing, or
right? But
what
also,
could be better.
Also, I think your ability to get what you want, like if you look at the Chinese, everything is there for you. You pay one price, you can have. If you have a limited ability to get women, if you don't understand the social dynamics, you don't understand attraction, you don't understand those things, you're not going to have access to women that you would want, because you could want a certain type of chick until you get them. good friend of mine, I'm not gonna say his name, but I'll tell you, Mike, later. You know who it is. Was dating met a porn star, right? And he was like, "Oh, I met this porn star. She smoked. We hung out. It was great. Da 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 da." But she had like an OnlyFans, but she did porn. She said she did just woman on woman porn, but she also did what they call financial dominatrix. You know what that is, Mike?
Yeah, FinDom. I have a couple of those.
So
FinDom.
where a guy, you get some simpy dude, the girl will say, "I want the Birkin bag." The guy buys the Birkin bag, and she'll take pictures of it in her panties and like this. And so guys never meet these girls, but
sometimes Dante, not even that. They just if they know the girl, they'll pick her up, drive her to the ATM, unload as much money as they can, give it to her, and drive her home.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, he can't even breathe. Look, he can't breathe because you said that. So, but my point is, there's a certain, but he was dating this porn star. He thought it was real sexy, right? And then he started feeling her, right? And then he was like, "Yo, I gotta, this was a couple years. He was like, Thanksgiving, yo, do I take my mom? Am I gonna take this porn star to my mom?" Like, and so he took her to see his mom, and then his brother found out that she was a porn. I mean, you gotta be honest with yourself. Are you willing to deal with this, like, in its entirety? And a lot of times, you don't know that until you're into it.
True. I was dating a doctor 6 months ago. We went on just for like a month or so.
Right.
But I was like, no, it was going well, but then I realized like what that entails to be dating, someone with a schedule like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's great.
Super rigid.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a great idea because she's a doctor, but she's saving lives. She ain't got time to, blow you on a slow Wednesday. You know what I mean? She's
on call.
You gotta. So I think one of the things that I say as a young dude, and this is why I do the consultations, is so that guys can get to a level where they can access the type of relationships they want to access now, so that they could, because what you think it's going to be, it's never is what it is until you really experience it. And if you're limited in your ability to understand the social dynamics, you're not even going to know if I think a lot of guys would be like, I'll give you an example. My first wife, she didn't really like men. She liked me, but she didn't like men. She liked women more, right? And so she used to bring women home all the time. Like, she would snatch a chick up and bring some chick home. And sometimes I was tired, and she'd be like, "Oh, I got you a little Griff." And she used to bring, the routine was she would bring them in, put them in the bathtub, and she'd scrub them. She'd scrub that, power wash that ass down nice and clean. But sometimes it was so frequent that it was like I would come home tired, and now I gotta show up and show out, Now, I understand how ridiculous that sounds, that somebody would have a wife like that and then think, oh, this is a problem, but it becomes a problem when you don't know it's a problem when you don't want to. You know what I mean? And then the kind of pressure that's on you to show up and show out every time because you've asked for this. I had everybody knows my co-host on the show is Harry Turjanian, and I kind of trained him. At one time, before he found his now girl that he's in love with, he had 5 girls on the roster. And I remember him driving. He was driving up to Connecticut to see this single mom that he was going to smash, and he's falling asleep on the road. He's like, "Man, can you talk to me on the phone? I'm trying to stay." And I was like, you realize you could just cut this relationship off. But it wasn't until he had 5 that he could go, "Oh, this is too much." You know what I mean?
You need to know.
Like, and here's the thing: when you step up like that and you put yourself in that position where you have those, you're also, there's credibility. There has to be a level of credibility, even if they know about each other. When they want to get hit off, you got to show up, whether or not you're tired or not. You can't just like you bought it, you broke it. You know what I mean? You broke it, you bought it. So I think defining what it is you want will help you not to get what you want and then start to be bored with it. To be bored with it after you get it. I think that's the key to that.
That's it. Yeah. It's just like
that makes sense to you.
Kind of like this existential question of like, oh my God, this is it. You know, when you're kind of
because I mean, couldn't you see that if you had a really defined the type of relationship you want and what you want when you don't, when you have all of that checklist, the whole checklist. Then you go, yeah, okay, maybe I'm a little bored right now, but we always get bored a little bit. But do we want to end it, or do we want to do something that's going to destroy something that we built and something that's good for us? I think once we define what happiness is, how are you going to know if you're there if you really haven't defined that? It makes sense?
Well, it's fleeting, you know, moment by moment, day by day, year by year, it changes.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, you could have an idea, clear, defined idea about what your happiness, and that can change with time. And that's okay too, as long as you're honest about it in the first place. Make sense?
Huh. Yeah. I guess so. The happiness part's a little broad. Like, do you have a specific example of how you would define it for yourself now, or, you know?
And understand this, I don't think that anybody is to judge that. I don't think anybody has the right to judge that about what you perceive your happiness. Nobody gets it. Look, there's dudes who pay to get a girl to step on their balls with high heels. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not. I'm just saying. But let's as men, let's start to move in directions that are intentful, instead of just in a boat with no oars floating down the river.
I like it. Yeah,
okay.
We'll reflect on that a little bit, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate you calling, man.
All right, peace.
Mike, you know what? I think that's the first time we ever got a call from Rhode Island.
It's so small up there. There's only so many people.
This is just, but they calling in here. Whatever it is, they calling here. Telephone number. The Cash App is up. Don't forget that. Shout out to the people on TikTok. Appreciate y'all watching. We're going to be doing this a little more. The number's 347-464-2827. Cash App is up. Super Chat is up. Give me some money. I think it's a really interesting thing when you start to move in directions where it is intentful. Because once you have a destination, you tend not to, even if you go off track, even if you tend to lean off track or get off what your goals are, in the back of your mind, once you have stated what it is that you want, your brain goes, it's sort of like the GPS. It's like recalculating. It takes you back on track. We got a phone call. Let's go.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Dante, how we doing?
What's going on? Who am I talking to? Where you calling from?
This is Cooper calling from Houston, Texas, man.
What's going on, Coop? How can I help you, bro?
All right. Hey, man, long time listener. Just want to say much respect, man. You know, I've been rocking with you since the Black Phillip show.
That's
dope. So, I've been listening to your voice for a good little while.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. How can I help you, though?
All right. So, the main thing is I want to know, like, how to, what's a good way to kind of vet a woman to know if she's just there for, like, the food or the goodies, or to know if she's kind of intentful as far as she might want to, take things to the next level, or
so so here's one of the things I don't. Okay, how can I put this? Let me start from the woman's perspective first. I think a lot of times women want the wedding but don't want the marriage, right? The idea of having a wedding, wearing the white dress, the whole hoopla, I'm a princess, is all. But after that is the marriage, where is the work that happens. So I don't think that you, once you have, like, again, this is about you defining what it is you want, right? And then once you've defined what you want, then you just put your best, you put your best foot forward. I'd say a guy should never ask a girl for the relationship first. And like you dating, let's make this official. I want us to be one-on-one. Let me tell you something. I've never in the history of my 58 years and Any woman I've ever dealt with, I've never had a woman who wanted something specifically about a relationship or wanted something from me that wasn't clear about what she wanted. I don't think that's ever existed. Or a woman who's unhappy about something that she's not getting, that's not vocal and clear about that. So if you're dating a woman and she's not going, you know, where is this going? What are we? If she's not asking those questions, you don't ask her to be your girlfriend. Because if she's not asking those questions, it's because she doesn't want to. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing.
Makes perfect sense.
The second thing is this. When you're being the best version of yourself, and everything, what I've found is no matter what question that I've gotten in all the times that we've been doing lives, the hundreds of questions that I've gotten, everything refers back to the principles, the ACE principles, or the sub principles that we talked about, like never letting emotion have a seat at the table. We talk about, you know, being intentful about what you do, all of these things, and because it always goes back to ACE. And so what I think you have to do is you have to if you're being the best version of yourself, and you're working at being the best version of yourself, right? You will attract different types of women, and those women will come, and they're gonna respond to you. You also have to have self-esteem and understand if you are working to be the best version of yourself, that is how you get your self-esteem. Because you know if you're doing the work. Picture it like a boxer who has a big fight coming up, and they know that they've done all the training they're supposed to do. They ate right, they slept right, they've done all the training, they've done the road work. They walk into that ring with a different level of confidence than if somebody has a camp where there was injuries, or where, you know, like one of my favorite boxers of all time, Zab Judah. When he fought, he was one of the few boxers I thought had a chance to beat Floyd Mayweather. And I saw him a week before the fight. I saw him in Harlem at Showman's Cafe, hanging out, drinking and hanging out. So what I'm saying is, in your life, if you're being the best version of yourself, that attracts certain people. And you also have a certain confidence that when somebody doesn't recognize what your value is, or somebody is not, they're not treating you the way that you want to be treated, you don't get offended by it. You just remove them from your life. You go, okay, this person doesn't get it. They don't understand how dope I am. Moving right along. You understand? But you got to have that confidence. My allergies are acting up again. But you got to have that confidence in the first place so that when somebody is treating you differently than you think that you deserve, you can say, well, I don't appreciate this, or I don't appreciate that. And then, but when you've said it once that you don't like the way somebody, if they continue to do it, what is the subtext of that? When you've made it clear, well, I don't like when you do this, or I don't like when you do that, and they continue to do it, what are they saying? They're saying, I don't care how you feel. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and if you want to be around me, this is what you got to deal with. Mm-hmm. I've literally had guys I've consulted with where they said they went out on a date with a girl, and she shows up late, and you go, hey, we were supposed to be here, it was a half hour. I've been waiting for you. And she go, oh, well, I'm always late anyway, so you just gonna have to get used to that. And that is when I go, yeah, let me drop you back home. Because what she's saying is, I don't respect your time, I don't respect your energy, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And every guy that I've dealt with before has put up with this, and so you're gonna put up with it also. And you don't have to argue about that. There's no reason to have a discussion. She's told you what her standard is, and you're saying, well, what you're willing to do is not up to par. It's not you in the Bentley shop, right, with 2 racks. We don't have nothing in that, but you need to go get you a Corolla or something. You trying to shoplift a dick. That happens too. where women are not willing. But the interesting thing is the turnaround. The fact that I watch online where I find guys who are arguing with these awful women. What do you bring to the table? I am the table. I am the prize. Well, it's just there's no sense in arguing with that. All you do is you just remove yourself from the situation. You just make yourself unavailable.
I was going to say having leverage is a real thing. Leverage and options. But
well, you can't. Right, So there's something I haven't talked about. There's something that I say is don't give ultimatums, make ultimate decisions. What that means is you have stated what your standard is and how you expect somebody to act. They are violating that. You spoke to them, and they basically said, I'm going to do what I want to do. There's no sense in talking that out once you've already explained how this offends you or whatever. And if they continue it, then you remove them from your life. Because they're saying that if this is how I'm going to treat you, and your response should be as simple as you not giving you access, that they no longer should give you access. And if you don't give it, and you lead with actions, because if you go, hey, if you keep on showing up late, this is going to be a problem. And then they continue showing up late, or like you go to pick them up and they don't, what they're saying is, I don't appreciate your time. I don't respect your time. I don't appreciate what you put forth, and I'm going to continue to do it. And so if you stay in that situation, whether or not you realize it or not, you are saying that this behavior is acceptable. And I say that to a woman as well. If a woman says fidelity is the most important thing, that one of my non-negotiables is that you are faithful to me, and the guy cheats, if you stick around, you're saying this behavior is fine.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept the disrespect.
Right. And why are they saying it's fine? Because really they don't feel like they like the guy more than they care about their self-esteem and their own self-respect. And so they're willing. But then what's happening is, because I always say that there's two things you got to own. Relationships are really easy. Know what your non-negotiables are, and then never negotiate them. Because if you're negotiating, then they're no longer non-negotiable. Even if that is cheating, even if that's lying, if that's stealing, if you're allowing this, whether you realize it or not, because it doesn't matter what you say, it matters what you do. Make sense?
Yeah, I gotta speak with actions.
And all the time. And you don't. If you're giving these ultimate, if you don't do this or you're bargaining. You're bargaining and you never want to bargain in a situation where you don't know what your leverage is. That's never you want to do that. So if I say this is unacceptable, and then and she does it again, and I don't call back, and then she calls up and says, "Hey, haven't heard from you." I said, "Yeah, well, I figured you wasn't interested." And she was like, "I never said that." "Oh yeah, you did say that." I go, "We've been out. I told you that I need you to be there on time. My time is valuable, and you didn't show up." Oh, and then what they'll do is, what you'll find sometimes women will go, "Oh, you acting real sensitive. You know," then they want to put it on you as if you have the problem. Don't fall for that. Go, this is my standard, meet my standard, because trust me, if you don't meet her standard, you will know it immediately. There will be no hesitation. If you don't meet her standard and what she expects out of a man, trust me, you won't she won't even respond. Sometimes that'll happen even before you get out on the first date. So I'm just saying that the clarity, there has to be a balance in this, and there's a clarity in that you have to understand. And you never negotiate. You never give ultimatums, and you don't negotiate when you don't know what your leverage is. Now, if I stop calling and she calls me up and she goes, "Well, I thought it was going good," and go, "Well, clearly not, because you're still not showing up. You still, or somebody calling you out of man, cussing at you, or calling you out your name, or, if that stuff never gets better. Anytime you have that situation where it's disrespectful and you haven't created a boundary, it never, ever gets better. It only gets worse. Okay?
Man, I had a follow-up question, but you pretty much answered it right there.
What was the question? What was the question?
Well, it's gonna be like, a lot of times women, the first thing they're gonna take off, they're gonna take the pussy off the table. You know what I mean? And so I know
Yeah,
me
but
being a man.
here's my thing with that. And this is why, let me just real quick, DanteNero.com, click on consult. If you don't understand the dynamics of this, I can teach you. But when you don't have options, then they're using they're holding the gooch as a hostage, and you cannot negotiate with terrorists. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
So,
makes perfect sense. All right, I just went ahead and sent that cash out, man. Just
all right,
make
brother,
sure,
give me
what I
some
want.
money. Right.
Most definitely. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Of course, bro. Appreciate you. Let's get that phone line up. It's always an interesting thing when I think that we don't understand that we are communicating, that people are communicating all the time. They're communicating in every level, at everything they do is a communication. I mean, even when you find this, even when you're raising kids, right? You got a little kid, and it's like you got a little kid, and you tell him to do something. If you want him, bring him up. Like, we got a call. Let's go.
Call you're on.
What's your name? Where you calling from, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to be real quick, man. Keep rocking. You're the best.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. But even when you're raising kids, it's important to understand to create those boundaries, because if you don't create those boundaries, then kids don't know what to do. And I don't mean to make the comparison like this, but I have a cousin of mine, my cousin. What up, Ty? One of my favorite cousins, and he breeds Cane Corso Mastiffs, right? And we got a call. I'll get back into this in a minute.
Call you're on the air.
What's your name? Where you calling from, dog?
Yo, what's up? It's Solano.
Slim?
Solano.
Oh, what up, Solano? What's going on, kid?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, Dante?
I'm good. What the deal?
Yo, so I'm out in the UK right now.
Oh,
visiting
no.
family.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been chilling, and I'm really trying to get over this anxiety I have.
Anxiety for what?
Just the approach anxiety whenever I come back to the UK really spikes back up. And
yeah, but Celino, you've been consulting with me for quite some time. What's different about the UK than here?
It's nothing. It's just I have this. It just piles up in my head.
Is that because you had a bad situation in the UK or no?
No, it's because my adopted mother would just put all this. She would just say it's creepy, and she just kept telling me it's creepy when you approach women and you try and talk to them.
Your adopted mom doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. How much pussy has your adopted mom eaten?
None.
Okay, so what is her level of experience? And I hear this all the time because I've said this over and over again. If you want to know how to hunt deer, you don't ask the deer, you ask the hunter. The deer is just being the deer. The hunter studies every movement. Like you get a guy, he got the fatigue, he's in a tree stand, he got deer piss, he knows the rut, he knows the signs, what they do, how their behavior. So, if you're taking advice from a woman who's never been slamming butt and smashing all over the place, how is she going to tell you about what is or what isn't? Have you found, here's my thing with you, is all of since we've been consulting, I mean, you've been consulting with me for how long now? Since you were like, what, 17?
18, yeah.
Okay, so has anybody ever said that you were creepy?
No.
So what is she talking about? I mean, this is the crazy thing.
I know it's illogical. Like, I'm looking at the facts, but it's also just something that was really driven home with her. Like, every other day, it would just be like, it's creepy. I don't like it. Like,
yeah, but she don't have to like it. You're not trying to pick up your mom, Celino. You're not trying to slash your mom, right? So it doesn't really matter what she thinks. You got to understand something. People have. let me, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I think we need to understand this. Most of our parents suck. Most of our parents, kids don't come with directions. They have their own trauma. They have their own hang-ups. They've went through their own relationships, made their own mistakes. And I'm not saying that you can't have a parent who has been able to actualize their mistakes and so on, and have some good advice when it comes to something. But is your adopted mom in a relationship?
Yeah, she is now.
How long? You say now? How long was she not in a relationship?
Probably about like 20 years.
Okay, so this is her relationship after 20 years. And
yeah.
how long has she been in this relationship now?
I think like a year.
Okay, and so 20 years, nothing. Then all of a sudden, she's getting a little taste now. Now she wants to tell everybody how to do it. Clearly, if you didn't do it in your own life, then you don't know what you're talking about. So you can either hold this person at a level on a pedestal, somebody who really hasn't executed anything in her own life in terms of happiness. And this is a year, so we don't even know how long this is going to last. So the fact that she has no success or very little success in a relationship, I just don't understand how we even listen to people like that.
Yep.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
And I've said this to you before. If you can say to me logically it doesn't make sense, then you need to learn to move on with that. And you got to let this stuff roll off your back. You cannot be affected by people who are not even in the game, right? You have somebody who's been a failure at relationships for over 20 years, lonely. She's in a relationship in a year. Now she wants to hand out advice. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, Celino. Good to hear from you, bro. I hope you're well.
Yeah.
Also, I'll be out in England. I'll be out in England for Christmas and a little bit before Christmas. Probably like the 18th, no, like the 19th. I'll be out at Christmas, and I'll be doing comedy out there. So anybody's in the UK, look me up. I'll be out in them streets, in them London streets. You know what I mean? But that always gets me, the fact that how affected men and women both are about relationships when their parents don't even have good relationships. They don't have positive relationships in their own. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to your parents or whatever, but like, if you don't know, then shut your mouth. You know, and I shouldn't say that, because it's your parents, so they want the best for you, and they're gonna speak their mind. But if you don't have, first of all, if it doesn't make logical sense, that's the first thing. The second thing, if you don't even have a record, you don't even have a record of being successful at something, just shut your mouth. I mean, so often I find especially immigrant parents, you know, they come here, or they're where they're at, and survival is the most important thing for them. So because survival is such the most important thing, that's all they care about. They're not really equipped to figure out what is the acquisition of happiness, what happiness looks like, and you have to define that. You can't let somebody define that for you. And if you're living for somebody else's, what somebody else deems as happiness, you're just not going to be happy. And the only person that you're going to resent is yourself and your mom later, because you let her not really find yourself and find your own path. You know, they've had their shot. Most of the times they've screwed it up in some shape or form. And very rarely do people make mistakes and learn from the mistakes and are able to pass, because it's just not a focus. I mean, my business is to understand this, is to understand the nuance. And that's why, you know, I mean, we've been doing this for a while, Mike, and it's like, I'm never stumped. I don't think I've ever been where I'm stumped, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking, you know. It's just, that's just not my, you know, it's because I'm always taking in information, and even things that I've learned in the past, and I'm getting asked these questions now. I'm aware of those questions because it's something that I went through before, so it reiterates. It just makes me mindful of everything in that way. What's the number, Mike? Let's get that number, 347-464-2827. Thank you so much for TikTok. I see the TikTok numbers is killing it right now. If y'all want to, TikTok people, if you want to call in, just go on to YouTube. Here's the number, 347-464-2827. You can call in and ask a question if you got a question. I don't care what it's about. But I was saying about even when it comes to raising kids, if you're telling a kid to do something, a kid could be 3 years old, and you tell him pick up your toys, the next thing you should do is physically be making them move their toys. You want your child to learn that there is no wiggle room between what you say and the consequence, and that the fact that you're going to be, the first time you give them the chance to do it on their own, the second time you are physically moving on them to show them what needs to be done. That's how children learn. And if you allow this openness, this wiggle room, then what you're saying is what I have to say, the guidelines and the things that I'm teaching you is I don't really mean it. Because kids have all day long to figure out what is the tone when you really mean it. And we all had that when, we know when your mom told you to do something, clean up your room, and you know when she said it and she meant it, and then you about to get that ass beat because she's had enough. What I'm saying is there should be no wiggle room with that. But you also, if there's not going to be any wiggle room with that, I think what you also have to do is don't just institute control over stuff that that doesn't matter. I recently just got I just had a consultation with a guy, older guy, married, happy marriage. All of a sudden, his wife or his girlfriend, I'm not sure what it was, but she wanted to go to this girls' trip in Greece or in Australia or something. And they're, she's very athletic, and they want to go kayaking and this and that, and that's all great. And I was like, well, and he was like, well, I just feel kind of funny. This is not like her. All of a sudden, she just wants to go on this girls' trip and so on and so forth. And the first thing I asked was, is your wife, is she a cheater? He's like, well, she's never cheated on me. I never really had a reason to think that she was a cheater. Well, do you understand that it don't take long for somebody to cheat on you? If somebody wants to step out on you, I mean, beginning to end, from taking your drawers off to putting it in and finishing, even if you're a killer and it's an hour, you got an hour of smashing, you can literally go to work, somebody can slide in your house, smash your girl or smash your wife, and be out before you go. We got a call. Let's go.
Call, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh,
Hello?
hello, you hear me, Dante?
Yeah, you got to speak up, bro.
Nothing much, bro. This Anthony from Chicago. Man, just called me in to show support to the pod.
Hold on. Doug, are you talking into the phone?
Yeah, I'm talking in the phone right now.
Okay, I need to hear you. I got to hear you. All right, let's go. What's the question?
No, the question is, man, when you guys gonna come to Chicago and do a live pod?
We're actually working on that now. Me and Harry and Mike been talking about starting to do some live shows. What I really would like to do is, here's what. Let's do this right now. Anybody that's really, I want to do a live pod, but what I really would like to do is something a little more intimate, something that I've done this before. It's called Dinner with Dante. It's where I do 20, 30 guys a dinner, and it's kind of intimate. We have a meal, we break bread together, right? I'm not paying for your drinks, but it'll be a price, an overall price that will cover the meal. We meet together and we sit down and have a meal and chop it up like if we're having dinner together. So anybody that's interested in that, please put in the comments if you would be interested in that, and then maybe me and Mike will start putting together, and me and Harry will start figuring it out to to kind of put that together so that we can go to, to come to some of the major cities so we can meet up and start doing it. I think it's more than time. And I think also bringing everybody together in a like-minded setting so that very rarely.
And also too, before I forget, because I'm shopping right now and I'm probably going to call back later, y'all got to bring Tariq Nasheed on the show. Bring Tariq Nasheed on the show.
Well, Tariq, you realize that Tariq doesn't really do the relationship stuff no more.
What do you mean?
Tariq is really on his foundationally black, race and stuff. He's kind of changed his thing. But I do respect Tariq and what he has to say. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but he's just not really in that bag no more.
I think he'll probably have a conversation with you guys.
Oh yeah. I think he would have but it's also, look, to be honest, I'm a real political guy, right? But I've worked so much to build this.
That's why it would be so epic if you brought him on, because it would be a great show.
Maybe I'll reach out to him to see if, what y'all should do. Here's what you do. Hit up with Tariq. If anybody, y'all, as fans, hit up with Tariq and just hit him on his Twitter and say, you need to have a discussion with Dante Nero. And we'll see if, see what happens. I respect the dude a lot, and he was absolutely a man of leisure at one time. So, I do respect that, and
what do you think made him what's the stripe on his back?
I just think that he feels as though his interest changed. I think his interest changed. What the priority for what he wanted to do and what he wanted to do for foundationally black Americans. That just became his focus. I don't know. I mean, it's also a larger market. Politics is huge, and I think his following and everything, it also opens it up. I mean, I don't know either way, but no shade on him at all. I really, I always respected that dude, and I also respect the fact that the way he's transitioned into the spaces that he's in now. But I wouldn't have it. But if you, man, send him a line, and we'll see what happens. Okay.
Yeah, and lastly too, also, a few days ago you guys had a podcast where you were talking about something. I'm trying to remember it right now, but it's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard for it to pop up in my head. You were saying a few things, and
about what?
It's not popping up on my head.
All right, well, call me back with it. Call me back with it. I got a bunch of callers. I don't want to waste time while you're trying to figure it out, though. But I appreciate you calling in, fam. All right?
Yeah.
All right, one. Yeah, I just, the principles of 347-464-2827, I really there's a cosmic and a universal truth to the way that you operate and the way we have relationships. They're only slightly different from man to woman, from woman to woman, from man to man, from man to child, from parent to it. The relationships, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have to be honest. You have to be. It goes down to ACE. It's authenticity, credibility, and empathy. And I honestly believe that if you are practicing those three principles, I don't think you can be a better human being. Two things that you will always have to do as human beings is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. The point is that when we make these mistakes, those mistakes need to be made because of the fact we need to have conversations in good faith. We got a call. Let's go.
Caller, you're on the air.
What's up, dog?
What's going on? Who am I speaking to? Where you calling from, fam?
Chicago, man. Just saying, Roo to the bros, man.
Roo, what up, team? How you?
I'm all good, dog. Just see you doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Thank you, bro. Spread the word to the brother. Love that when my bros come in, and no shade to the rest of the Divine Nine. It's just what I chose to do, Shit, Roland Martin has always got his paraphernalia on, so I figure why not. Anyway, yeah, I think something that I talk about a lot of times, and sometimes I'm on a rant and I'm in a different mode at different times, but I feel like subtext is really important. A lot of times, the subtext of what your actions are. What are you saying what are you communicating with your actions? And are you consistent about your actions? You got to lead with actions, not with verbiage. I mean, I think it's great that, relationships and we are all becoming more communicable, in terms of we're communicating and talking. But we got a call. Let's go. But you still got to be consistent. What's your name? Where you calling from, fam?
Yo, peace. It's Tony Crane.
What up, Tony? How you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm all right, man. I'm in Delaware right now.
Dope. How can I help you?
I was just calling, man. You know what? I called last week, but it was at the end of the show. I just wanted to go into more detail, man. Look, I'm married right now, but I've been separated for like 15 years.
Okay.
Raising my son on my own.
Okay.
Long story short, I got married. We were married for 3 years, and then we had my son, but she cheated on me. I left, took my son with me.
Okay.
Right. So, I've been listening to you for years, ever since Black Phillip, like old boy said earlier. Yeah. And you guys helped me get through depression. But here's the thing. I'm at a point right now, right? Like, I've never had a problem getting women and all of that shit. But, like, I'm 6 years in, purposely celibate, because I don't find any woman that I feel deserves me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, literally. And it ain't, I've been doing my thing, so it ain't about sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm way past that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for more. Like, I know what I want. Like earlier you said, I know where I am, or I know who I am, and I know what I want. But my thing is, in the meantime, I have this disdain, for what females are right now in this world. And it's not getting better for me.
Now, wait a minute. Do you think that all women are that way?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No,
okay.
That's absolutely not. No, but it's like the majority of the women that I meet, I see. I'm looking for a different.
Yeah, but
type.
Are you actually in the game? Like, are you out there? Are you actively socializing?
Well, I mean, I'm talking to chicks all day, but I'm not looking for a relationship.
I don't think you should ever be looking for a relationship. I think the way I look at it is that you should be the person that you are, and if somebody comes along that's worth it, right? Then you see how that works, and you go, 6 months, and you see how that works, and then it shouldn't be a forced thing. So that's like when I say that women, a lot of women want the wedding. They want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. But my question is, are you actively talking to women? And if you are actively talking to women, where are you meeting these women at? I mean, did you ever think about maybe changing your circles?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not actively looking for right now. I started my business 3 years ago. I'm trying to focus on my music. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I told you last time I'm an independent artist. I don't really have time to devote to vetting women right now because that's just distracting. It's just going to distract me from
but here's one
goal.
thing. How long do you think it takes to vet a woman?
That I want to just be around?
No, I mean just in general. So because here's my thing. You are in a really great situation because you're not anxious. So you talking to a woman is one of the things about laying the 5 bricks and putting guys through the plan is because what they're doing a lot of times is guys are failing and they're striking out because they are talking to women transactionally. What do I mean by I'm talking to you because I'm trying to smash. Right?
Right.
And women are super intuitive about if that's what your motive is, right? Now, If she thinks you're cute, if she wants to smash herself, they will overlook all of those red flags. But like what you're saying is you've been celibate for 6 years. What I'm saying is you ultimately are not talking to a woman transactionally, and in fact, because the attitude that you have by being celibate is the attitude that you need to have even if you're not celibate.
Right.
Sex is important. Let's make no mistakes about it. Make no mistake about it. We are still human beings, and human beings are three-dimensional. We're physical, we're intellectual, and we're intimate, we're emotional, physical, and intellectual. And so you have to operate in all three of those realms, right? So as much as I understand your celibacy, I'm still thinking to myself, you are denying an aspect of your humanity that I don't think you should deny it. I'm not saying you should give it away to everybody and everybody's deserving, but I'm saying you also, sex changes the dynamic of things. So when you say you just haven't, there's no way in the world you could tell me that you haven't run across, in 6 years, you haven't run across one girl that you didn't think was worth smashing.
I mean, I see chicks all the time that I would smash, but I mean,
and I don't mean just.
You know what?
Understand something? I don't mean just somebody you want to smash and dash, but I'm saying somebody that might potentially
intellectually drawing. I just don't find many that.
But you see what you said. Many doesn't mean none.
That's true.
So what I'm saying to you is, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be celibate or whatever. I'm just saying, if you want to, I mean, I'll give you an example. I've had guys go, I don't want no relationship with a woman, right? And I go, what you're really saying is, I don't want the relationship that I think women want. Meaning, I gotta spend time and money. I gotta vet it. But what if you had a chick who was like, "Yo, I know your music is important to you. I know you got your needs, and so I'd love for us to be together. But if you want to go smash something else, or if you need to go do whatever you got to do to pursue your music, you would be okay with that. That is a relationship that you probably will be okay. Somebody who was intellectually at your level, but still didn't hinder your ability to grow and to be better.
That would be cool, but I mean, how realistic is that?
I think that's as realistic as anything else.
I mean, you know what? You're right. It's possible, but I haven't found it, man.
I get it, but you also are not really putting yourself out there either.
I'm not.
And you're even from your tone. Even from your tone, is that you seem real like you. Well, and I don't even have to say tone because you used the word disdain, right?
Absolutely.
So you feel a certain way about this, which I think you might not be giving people a chance that might be worth your time.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, I can't even argue with that. Yeah. And I don't even know if I'm ready to even feel like that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then that's a whole nother thing. So now let me ask you this. Is the fact that she cheated on you and that this was a painful thing, is that still trauma in your mind?
No. I'm beyond that. You know, and I don't mean
on a personal level. I don't mean personally with her specifically. But are you in a situation where your disdain has to do with the fact that you just don't think it's worth it because it didn't work out when it was supposed to work out?
No, because I've dated since then.
That's not what I mean. You understand what I mean? What I'm saying is, if you use a word like disdain, is a really strong word, bro. And there's a reason why you use a word that has so much power. Because to me, there's something else going on underneath that. There's no way. I mean, I shouldn't say there's no way, but it's very unlikely somebody who was smashing before how you don't have an urge or an urge for some kind of connection or some kind of human intimate connection with somebody in 6 years. I just don't.
Well, I do. That's not it. It's just that. Let me see. When I start to consider like, yo, maybe I just get more examples of why it's gonna piss me off in the long run, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Just get out of here. You know what I'm saying? And
you like peaches? You like peaches?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when peach season is around, you go to the supermarket, right? You look at the peaches look good, you grab one, and it you know what a ripe peach is supposed to feel like, right?
Indeed.
And if it's too hard, if they're not ripe yet, you put it down. But then you grab another one, you give it a little squeeze, a little light squeeze, and because you know what it feels like when it is. My point is, if you're gonna go, yeah, I like peaches, but all these peaches is whack. That's what you're doing.
I see you. Yeah.
So
yeah.
what I'm saying is, part of the fulfillment of your life is, we're human beings. That there's an intimate and emotional connection that helps us to be fulfilled human beings. And what kind of music you do?
Hip hop.
Okay, so even hip hop or any type of music, it is an expression of emotion. One of the things that I say this all the time is when I talk about laying the 5 bricks is a very simple and straightforward task to teach you how to be honest, to teach you how to get over the approach anxiety for rejection, and so on and so forth. And the reason why I called it laying the 5 bricks was because it was an analogy that I used years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, where I said, if you go outside I was having a discussion with somebody about inspiration. And they were saying, you got to be inspired to do your work. You got to be inspired. And even with music, if you want to learn certain things, you're not always inspired, right?
Yeah.
But you got to show up every day. If you want to go to the gym, you got to show up every day. Or every day you're not inspired to do your best, but you show up every day because it's important in that. Same thing with laying. If you lay a brick, you lay 5 bricks every day for 365 days. At the end of the year, you're gonna have 1,825 bricks, a wall as big as shit. Because now that wall doesn't care whether you were inspired, whether you were motivated. It don't care whether it was snowing, whether it was 104 degrees, whether it don't care if your mama died, your dog died, your parakeet. It don't. At the end of the year, you're gonna have 1,825 bricks laid, right? So sometimes just showing up moves the needle, right? If you want that's masonry, just laying a brick wall. But if you want to build something like a coliseum or a cathedral or something that emotionally affects people, when architecture looks in a way that it affects people, right? How beautiful the architecture is and stuff. The only way that you can do art, which is art, it changes simple buildings to architecture and art, right? What is the purpose of art? The purpose of art is to elicit emotion, right?
Right.
And the only way you can elicit emotion is through emotion. It's the expression of emotion. So even if you're doing hip hop, right? The only way, the songs that are going to be the dopest, the best stuff stuff that you're emotionally connected to.
That's a fact.
And so, but here's what you're doing. An intricate part of your humanity is intimacy and sex and the intellectual aspect and all of it is part of it. So I would even say that it hinders your ability to express emotion if you are not being a whole human being. Just something to think about.
All right, copy.
I mean, I've been a comic. I've been doing comedy for 24 years. The bits that I most care about are the bits that are funny because I am emotionally connected to them, and you can't deny a whole portion of your humanity. simply because you're frustrated by the fact that, look, I love hip hop, right? But I'm an old school hip hop. I love lyrical dudes. I love Red and Redman and these dudes who were really passionate. But I was like, yo, there's no, it's all of this, microwave hip hop, right? And then I started listening to Griselda, them Buffalo dudes, and El Camino and Mark Hami, and there's dudes who are going back into the thing where there's an expression, a lyrical expression, and an artistic expression, and you could feel the difference in that. I just think you can't just not participate in a part of humanity, which is sex and intimacy, even if it's not sex, some degree of intimacy, and then call yourself a whole human. Okay?
No doubt. Yo, thanks. I appreciate you. And look, I'm one of those MCs that you would actually listen to, man. I promise.
Well, send me something. Send me a clip in my DMs on the Instagram or something, or YouTube, okay?
I will. I'm going to do that tonight, man.
What's your name? So just pump yourself real quick.
My name is Tony Crane. Tony, Krane.
Okay.
You can Google me. I'm on all platforms, man.
All right, send me something, though, okay?
I will, Dante. Yo, thanks again, man.
I appreciate you. I mean, I just think it isn't as important to be a whole human being. That doesn't mean you don't want that to occupy, 80% of your life, but it is part of it. It is. You want to smash a little booty. You know what I mean? Keep you moving. You know how you think Tri-State Mike keeps it live? He got to smash a little butt. You can't smash a little butt. You can't push them buttons, right, Mike?
I get all stressed. I can't think straight. Smash a little butt. I come in. I'm loose. I'm telling jokes.
Man, my nose is itching like crazy. I look like a cokehead, Mike. Jesus. Which I've never did. You ever did coke, Mike?
Literally once or twice, and I didn't like it either time.
Yeah, I'm 58 years and never did coke. Unless we got a call. Let's go.
Talk to me. How you doing, Dante? This is James from North Carolina.
What's going on, James? How can I help you, family?
Good. Just checking in. On the one hand, appreciate the last conversation you had with last dude. On the other hand, wanted to get your perspective on something.
Sure.
Any recommendations you have for people that are close to, say, semi big cities? By semi, I mean say a Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Would any recommendations in terms of meeting people? Because it could be sparse out here. Everybody drives. So, what would you suggest in terms of meeting people, getting to know folks outside of the job environment?
Doug, here's something that I will tell dudes that I've actually consulted with. Man, Google it. Google what's going on. I mean, half the time you Google stuff, there's all kinds of free stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on. But if you're not in that realm, and you're not trying to make an effort. I mean, you can meet somebody at the supermarket. You can meet somebody at the park. You meet I know I got one of my boys is from Carolinas, and he skates. He loves skating. And there's these communities of people that travel all over the place, and they go to these skate parties. I mean, I've done salsa dance and martial arts. I think when we do things, when we take on activities in order to express ourselves or to expound on certain things ourselves, what happens over and over, we meet people, and we meet like-minded people. There's always something going on. I
guess I'm only asking because I've Googled a few things. I've went to a few events, but the events have been, more or less shut down compared to the stuff that I've been used to in other larger cities where, larger cities people click up much faster, and in these smaller regional cities, it feels like it's a lot of who you know, and if you know the right people, you get invited to the right places.
But I think when you're if you just make a little effort to be in places where in the know, you're gonna meet people with a little time and then a little bit of effort. Then you're in the know. I used to date a girl who was anti-politics. pop-up party, any VIP. She was always in the bottle service. I mean, it was kind of, for me, it was like whatever, because I didn't. That's not. But I mean, she was in those parties. You know what I mean? Because she made an effort, and I think a lot of times if we just make a little bit of an effort, you go to a few events, you meet people. If you're out and you're actually socializing and you're talking to people, you end up meeting people, and it ends up being a situation where it kind of snowballs, or take up an activity of something, and you'll meet. I danced salsa for 3 years, Doug. When I finished, at one time. I was taking classes, and then there was social events they have so you're learning how to salsa dance. Then each school in the city has what they call a social, where they have like a party, like a sort of a mock fake party, and people show up and they just practice dancing, because you want people that are like minded. And then before,
I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, before
I'm not gonna hold you, Dante. It does seem like there is a benefit to, given you were in New York, so I'm imagining that, the salsa classes also happen in New York. I'm imagining that because you're in a bigger city, you have that.
Listen, I'm not going to. There's no way I would tell you that New York is not popping. It is popping no matter where you go. But there's always something. I've been traveling on the road with Godfrey, man, and we've been. All of a sudden Godfrey started playing Donkey Kong. Like, he started playing video games, and there's like these what they call barcodes, or these bars that do video games, and there's
like an arcade.
Yeah, it's like an adult arcade, and I couldn't believe that there were that many people in that. I don't care what it is. There's people doing something. You're never gonna have the magnitude that you're gonna have as a LA or New York or some of these major cities or whatever. But there's always something going on. And it's funny because my boy's out, and shout out to my boy Eugene out in the UK, and he always said, "Yo, we got some nice cuties in London," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's cuties everywhere." There's cutie everywhere you go. There's cutie, and the question is, how many do you need to know? If the city is 6 million people, I mean, how many you gonna smash?
That's a fact.
So what we're talking about, the limitation of this, of people knowing and getting to know people, when the reality is that we're just really not putting ourselves out there.
All right, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging, but I gotta ask you, because you mentioned something earlier that sounded super fucking interesting. This whole doing a dinner. Obviously, you said it's gonna be a little smaller.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fire fucking idea.
Okay. I'm thinking about it and working on it. And I'd love to do that, and then go to like some of the major cities and some of the smaller cities, and then do comedy, book comedy at the club, and just do a whole thing where I just said, but just I'm just throwing it out there. So, man, I appreciate you. Your supportiveness. I hope anybody who's interested, whatever city you're from, send me make a comment, put a comment, and then maybe I'll start looking into that. Maybe we'll figure out how to get that done. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fire. All
right, brother.
I'm gonna leave you to it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dante.
All right, family. Mike, you ready to shut this down, baby?
We did it again.
Tri-State Mike in the building.
You know it, man. You saved more lives this week. You dropped too many gems, I feel like.
It was a lot.
You gotta save some for next week.
They falling out of my pockets. I can't help it.
I'm telling you, we're gonna start muting your mic.
You already know. So, GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. I love y'all, man. Peace. Don't forget to hit me in the cash, man. Hit me money. Give me some money. One-on-one consultations, DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Don't forget to follow the Patreon. This is a great way to support the content to keep me coming out. I appreciate everybody who has signed up. A lot of people have been signing up for the Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/manschool202. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, hit the bell so that you know every time I go live. Peace, man. I love y'all, man. We out.
Man School 202. Better hear what I've got to say, because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.